seeing where the buttons are, and I'm finding the buttons for going live. Oh, hitting one more platform to bring just the. I'm so excited to talk about hypnosis, and I find the more I talk about it, the more excited I get, which probably sounds odd, but it's because I see it every day. I see change. I see people's lives change, and it's always funny to me each time someone says, I had hoped these things would work, but I'm just blown away that it really did work. And so, of course, it's a rewarding thing.
Recording in progress.
The most rewarding thing will be to know that you have these tools and you can use these tools for life. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope you are warm and happy, or hopefully feeling some of the excited energy about sharing tools and demystifying hypnosis, so that you'll recognize that you already have power as a hypnotist, power within your own mind. Okay, we're not controlling other people's mind, but we are in control of our mind. And when you wake up to that, you realize hypnosis is not that state or depth of having to go into a place of trance. Already, some part of you may be in a trance. You already are behaving and believing and responding to stories or suggestions, or imprinted things. We do not need to understand or analyze hypnosis. Let's start with just making this consideration to agree hypnosis is occurring inside of your mind. And if you want to turn your story in a different direction, then oh my goodness, I didn't bring my water. What a big buildup. Okay. Pause. I've got to get a water because I've got so much that I've got to say, and I don't want to be interrupting myself by coughing. So enjoy the ambiance. Okay. I'm back, and thank you for sticking with me. Or if you're joining me for the first time, you're going to see how effective hypnosis solutions can be for you. Okay, this is interactive through Zoom. So I want you to tell me what your goals are. If you have already started using hypnosis, if you are stuck anywhere in using hypnosis, if you're just joining on Instagram or YouTube, you can come into Zoom, but I do these workshops for you every other week. Okay. Got myself so worked up and excited that I got out of sync with my airway. Okay. Now, if you're ready to not only listen, for the next half hour or so to the things that I'm saying, which will make change in your brain and your subconscious, and you will understand or see some of this technique for these tools, knowing that hypnosis isn't just one technique, you could see where you may want all of the tools of these things for hypnosis. And this is where you could be going to the website and checking out client, or student success stories and getting the tools. And we know it's not just about whether you will pay for the tools. It's about, will you use these tools? And I want you to value these tools. And this is why I've put so much value for you in, the self-applied hypnosis techniques. And you'll see it's a very, very valuable thing, because it frees you from having to work with a coach or a therapist ongoing. You become your own support, and those lessons and those scripts and those audios and videos, I mean, all of the tools in the self-applied hypnosis techniques will continue to sort of plant or build layers for you of how the subconscious mind already was working to help you and can be redirected to better help you. So if you are ready for change, get your access today to the self-applied hypnosis techniques. If finances feel like that barrier, know that I've got coupons in place and I've got payment plans in place, and I'll give you either coupon. 20OFF gives you 20% off of the entire lifetime access, 24/7 access. I also have 40OFF for 40% off, twice as much off. We know that it's no longer a question of can you have it? How much of us have too much, right? It's not complicated stuff. Actually, in the tools, I have two different options where you can go through just 10 simple, but they're very, very full and actually very complete lessons of the entire hypnosis techniques and philosophy. And I have one aspect which goes to that left logical analytical brain. There's a course book and quizzes and exercises and even optional assignments. And then I have the right brain, where you could take those lessons in through what I'll call trance talk. And this is often what people think about is all of hypnosis. And we'll actually do some of this to demonstrate and lead you through a technique today. But first, I'd like to help you with some of those left brain tools, because aren't most of us often in the left brain? Now, here's a very, very simple process. You know how most of us are trying to subtract and remove, right? We just sort of hate or wish that a problem would change. Well, subtraction just comes after addition as far as what we could understand. Because if we begin with if if we begin with subtracting, then we're left with a negative thing, sort of like a non thing, or a removed thing, a sense of vulnerability, because that thing, even though it may be painful for you, it is in some way interpreted by you as being a solution, or at least sort of removed from the worse or bad. And so ahead of subtracting that, we want to add in a resource, we want to add in a solution. So I call this allocation. Allocation means that you just sort of focus on and you just sort of say it exists and I want this, right? So we're allocating in resources, or we're allocating in or adding in solutions. And in fact, you could do that tactic, just adding and adding and adding. We know, like gratitude journaling, or affirmations. Those sort of you incant, or you recite, or you fixate on the right affirmations, and it changes the body. Now, a lot of times I'll see affirmations and goals written more like inspirational quotes under this voice of sort of like, I wish that, or if only it could this, and that way of perceiving it to the subconscious just places it in the later, or in the after, in the future, in the next, which all of that just means it's not happening now. And your subconscious is really just concerned with what is happening now, where your conscious is more, I guess, connected to all of this, kind of potential, right? In math, if I add this and subtract that, then what's next? But the subconscious is more just, what is this? And we want this to be considered positivity, allocated resources. So let me know some particular goals, and I can speak to those um, for you, so that even in the next few minutes, you can begin to change. And sometimes people might say, Lauren, that is too simple. That is too easy. Or that didn't make enough sense. I need to, rewind back and have you explain it in less abstract and more concrete terms. We don't need to understand these things. Okay. Your subconscious is everything is all just, emotion and energy. It's taking in these things. And if I can present and, sort of elicit and provide hope, that's going to go into a, a change. And then if I've created this allocation to resources, that's going to inspire motivation. So it's like you're healed, and you can in your subconscious feel yourself moving. I swear. The more and more that I talk about this, sometimes it really comes out poetically. Sometimes it probably seems out there, but I'll keep talking about it, and I'll just trust that every single attempt at putting something which is ancient, right, which is it wasn't something we began doing. It was more like we just were aware that wow, this this art of suggesting, or focusing, um, or calling, it it's real, and it makes change and something invisible, but our subconscious can feel it. And we only feel one way at a time, right? We feel like we're moving to the pleasures, or that we're moving away from our pains. And of course, I want to um, tell you that this modern day hypnosis approach is always going to stay in that place of positive association. We can, and there are in the self-applied hypnosis techniques, explanation for techniques like aversion. But we're going to first turn to that idea of ego strengthening, confidence building, safe place connecting. It's all about adding in that sense of yes. And honestly, if you just add and add and add, then all of the no's or all of the nots will just fade out into the background. And in your presence, as far as the subconscious is concerned, whether the presence is connected to your past or your future. Now, our presence can be something that we interact with tangibly. If you would imagine a line, or I've done this workshop a few times, and you can go to watch some of those past audios. Or, of course, if you want to interact with me in live time during a presentation, we can do that. So today, why don't we think about that timeline instead of being something, visual or kinesthetic? Let's make it visual and kinesthetic and auditory. A line really isn't going to be anything that we could imagine hearing, but an elevator, we could imagine seeing, we could imagine feeling, or at least feel yourself walking towards the elevator, feel yourself in the elevator. Is the temperature different? Perhaps there's a smell. Everything in your stories can be pleasant. It's okay if it is common. It's okay if it's odd. People sometimes will tell me they took themselves into a space of an elevator, but they felt like they were on a beach. The idea of the elevator is that we could, maybe sink or at least move to new times or places. But for this idea, we're going to stay with the idea of time, because I'm calling it a timeline. Or now, today, I'll call it a time elevator to carry you. I mean, just for a second, pause and see if you can really just pretend for 10 seconds. You're in the elevator, you press the button, and the button you will press, I'm going to ask if it can take you to that up direction, that next direction, forward, right? Better. you've pressed it, and then you're just going there. And the air in your elevator is like fresh, and you feel your body sort of being cleaned, and even maybe some tingles, which can um, be something you imagine means that cells in your body are more efficient and better at healing themselves. And then you arrive, and the elevator opens, and inside, having come to this next better place, you walk forward. Maybe you sort of stretch, you feel big in your space, and I don't know, you just want to draw that space into you, or you want to go running towards that space, or maybe you've been wanting to be at this space for so long that what you really want to do is kind of lay down and take a long break and relax. You are in control of that story. I can direct and create a story for you, but like a daydream, you are going to know the things that you will like. And you have unlimited creativity in your mind. So we have this timeline or time elevator. You allocate in resources. Now begin to understand that it doesn't matter if you are understanding nor believing what I'm saying. Hypnosis can be one of those things that people have reactions to, meaning that you've heard something in media or in movies, or your mind made up something without finding you were, open or willing. I don't need you to be open or willing to believing me, but if you want to see change, be open to these techniques, because I see it every single day. And it was the case studies, and it was the way that I was reading about. There you go, away from my background. It was the way that I was hearing about hypnosis making change in the physiology of people's body through the power of suggestion, through directing story physically. People change. And this is powerful change. I mean, there are physicians, that are studying hypnosis every single day. I'm so connected into uh, this science. And it really is also an art, meaning it is subjective. And we can see that there are new things which we maybe systemize as techniques all of the time. So I've been studying for a long time and applying for a long time and working inside my office with many people to find what is hypnosis at the core. And although I'll continue to study and be excited to see um, the the change of names and um, ways that people couple different uh, techniques, or maybe do group led things. I just will want people to know, with modern day hypnosis, if I could just give you the base of these tools, which you have innately within you, and you just maybe even hadn't recognized it until now, that you can make profound change, to add in resource to just improve your brain, and through your athletics, or better sleep, or less stress, confidence, um, even making changes to allergies and skin conditions. I promise, the things that are documented in case studies as being supported through hypnosis, or symptoms being, supported as far as um, the relativity to things. I'm not a medical practitioner. I am not a medical practitioner. There are medical practitioners using and teaching and discovering hypnosis. My intent is just to begin your journey into your own hypnosis, and you'll take that I'll guess as deep as you will like, but everything in the self applied hypnosis techniques is meant to be complete. And I will add in things if I find new things, but we don't need new brands or titles of things. Instead, let simplify things so that you just have all of the complete toolkit. And the way I deliver it to you is just in one web page. And you've got audios and videos and PDFs, but it's just everything in that one confined organized space so that you can have that. And you can go to hallhypnosis.com and use the coupon codes. I also want you to know on Amazon, I have a book called The Brilliance of Imagination by Lauren Hall. So if you go to Amazon and look up The Brilliance of Imagination, you can have some, kit or some of these tips for how to make that change. But of course, everything is more better organized for you at Hall Hypnosis. Okay. Now, this one next thing I want to do after I stop clearing my throat, it's like the skill set for the hypnotist is being able to communicate. I could for sure just communicate through, gestures and my, body language and my facial expressions. But I want you to understand the entirety that hypnosis is a real thing. It's a real safe thing. It's not a religion or a belief type thing. I'll tell you about a student, Lynn, that I have or had. I mean, Lynn's already graduated. Lynn is already, he's gone through the entire thing. And he's actually working with people who he never would have thought he was going to become a hypnotist, because Lynn is a very logical, science based. He wasn't into any psychology or metaphysics, or even the idea of coaching. Not that he didn't believe in it, he just didn't see how he would need it or how it would make any sort of impact. And so Lynn was going down that conventional path, and he found himself at a dead end, and it wasn't making the change that Lynn wanted and needed. And so Lynn heard about hypnosis at just the right time in his life, and his mind was open enough or motivated enough to that need. And so Lynn began to do research very diligently. He did maybe almost 20 hours of reading and researching. And you would find if you were really looking, just like I began, to do once it was kind of brought in front of me, that hypnosis is a real thing and it's a very ancient thing. And we still yet don't quite understand some of the things, or as much as we would want to exactly know, what would be the right technique for you or the script for you. And that's why, I've really recognized that it is so irrelevant how you do the hypnosis. It just will work for you. Um, and a part of that working is that power of, I want to say, believing, but I don't want it to feel like anything that has to be, heart or emotions based. Think about Lynn's case. It was just Lynn getting himself into, the hypnosis experience and following the steps. And that's all you need. You don't have to placebo or think or understand. You just can use hypnosis, and it's a very actually quick effect, meaning a few encounters, maybe even just that one encounter. But sometimes I'll notice for people who have a goal like quitting smoking or letting go of grief or weight or anger or some sort of destructive change, that it can be helpful to plan 2 to 4, 6 or 5 meetings, very quick. You'll find it's just always very quick. It actually is Also, much more, quick and permanent in its effect. Another student, I'll tell you about Anna. Um, she was maybe in the complete opposite direction of Lynn. She was super um, educated in uh, the art of coaching, even working already as a coach and using those skills of NLP and being even familiar already with hypnosis. However, hypnosis can be presented as this idea of do the hypnosis this way. And when we take a step back and we recognize that we can do the hypnosis in any way, well, that helps us notice that there's sort of no wrong way. Um, and then again, it's not only a one right way, there are just many ways. And so you can do the hypnosis. Here's tools that you are doing the hypnosis, and then the subconscious will know that you have done the hypnosis. And that sort of sequence is what is just all of this process. And Anna just hadn't seen that. She hadn't seen it put together in that sort of here's the entire way that you can do hypnosis, the modern way of doing hypnosis. So when Anna, came and she changed her understandings of hypnosis, just like Lynn, she began to make changes, big changes within her own life. And now in the work that she's doing with other minds, she's creating just, big change. It's very humbling and inspiring, the work and the change that can be achieved um, in using hypnosis in whatever ways that you want to use it for yourself or and working with others. And if you um, understand about the stage and entertainment opportunity, I'll say, I guess, with hypnosis, know that it is real. And those suggestions of making someone connect to being a dog or something like that, those aren't going to stay. Those can be entertaining and fun and all of that, but that is a very let's say uh, entertainment style of using hypnosis, and there's so much um, possible in a very productive way of using hypnosis. So you can, get your coupon codes if you want a discount. You can use payment plans um, if that's the way that this is going to, be accessible to you today. You'll have access to it for your entire life. I can tell you that these techniques, you won't find uh, them all put together in this way. At least I wasn't finding them, in the years that I've been studying, which is why I've created it in this way for you, because I just know that I can help you, and um, I will want to provide help or tools or at least inspiration for all of you if you want it. Okay, you didn't need it from me; you had it already inside of you. But maybe I'm just giving you a key, and then you can use that key to unlock these things, and then you can bring your styles and techniques of things to all of us. And it's just it's a great it's a great world and a great time, and you can change your mind to see that and to feel that, and it will continue to spiral, and it will be that, and it will actually change all of that. Let's all do that together. Today, I'd like to do, guided imagery for that state of sort of global connectivity and receptivity. And also, after we presence and add and receive, which is the same as adding, it's going to be so effortless that all of these outdated or limited or painful or other people's things come off of us. Okay, they come off of you, they come off of them, they come off of me. All of it, like energy, kind of, we could picture, goes into the earth and is metabolized and um, reorganized to be recycled, new, positive, healthy, fresh, like a breath of, again, that fresh air. So pretend you're standing, or maybe if you're seating, or seated somewhere, you could be driving or something like that. But come back to what I'll say next later. Close your eyes. If you do not close your eyes if you are driving, but anywhere else that you are that you would like to follow along with this, close your eyes. Imagine standing or sitting or lying down somewhere very comfortable now. Take a few breaths and notice the place in your body, maybe around your abdomen, that you could begin to stretch more as you inhale. And as you exhale, you let go of expectations or comparison. You can let go of undulated stories. You can just let go of things and draw the awareness in as you become present. And I love to direct people to relax tension by doing this thing where you breathe in and you sort of compress and just comfortably or maybe completely squeeze the body. And as you breathe out, you release the body slowly. Breathe rhythmically. And now see if you can just completely eradicate all of the tension, even from your mind. You find your forehead relaxes, your ears feel like they're sinking down, even your skin becomes, comfortably warm or cool or heavy, or you'll be in control and safe the entire time. Maybe finding you feel weightless. Some people can picture this sort of relaxing color, like a mist, beginning to move around you, covering you and protecting you and nourishing you. And it is healing you. It's helping you. And this will be with you as long as you like in your subconscious mind. The conscious, thinking, judging mind, pretend like you could begin feeling your head becoming lighter and it even lifts off like a balloon, and you had the string and you release the string. And you just don't need to think or analyze things for 10 seconds. And every breath, you can imagine just resetting, counting down from 10 to 1, resetting every one of your beliefs to only have in front of you the helpful and energizing things, cleaning out any limited thing. You become free from pressure, free from your own destructive self-judgment, even free for just a moment from time. Time stretches and stills. And now see if you could feel that tingle of electricity. Just pretend it, or imagine hearing it, or see it. You know that it's there. It's in the air. It's adding to you. You naturally, everything throughout you, all of your goals and your attributes and all the desires in your heart, everything in your cells that is helping you, that you are holding on to, is now growing for you. And just in this second, as you breathe, you feel your heart or your self-image, that part of you in your chest or the high chest, even the throat, sort of feels more open, more bright, lighter, more energetic. And now breathe out that sort of breath of relief, a like sigh, you just. And now your subconscious is instructed just to assume it has already happened for you. And it was that easy. And now we'll take 3 breaths. Excuse me. 3 breaths. Or already, if you're on 2, or that last big breath for you, you can stretch. You now will open up your eyes, reorient yourself inside of your space. And as you go about your day, know that these suggestions and my instructions, even the indirect undercurrent of implied instructions through the art and science, those 2 sides of hypnosis, are coming in to support this goal for you without me even needing to know that goal, because you know your goal, which is why you just always hold the most power as your hypnotist. So become this best version of your hypnotist through study, connect with modern day hypnosis, go to Hall Hypnosis to get access to the self applied hypnosis techniques toolkit. Go to Amazon and check out The Brilliance of Imagination. Come back again for another presentation and workshop. Every other week, completely free. You can interact with me. And I'm just so grateful for all of you watching and taking these things, or at least being open or curious to these things. They don't need to be things that you believe or understand. But thank you for your time, everyone. Bye.
Record.
Yay. End stream. Did I have trouble starting? A little bit. Okay. I think it's still going on YouTube, and I'm really grateful for all of you out there watching. I'll be back in 2 weeks, and I'll see you then. Bye.